What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks, back with our daily Apple update video, ticker symbol AAPL, where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, hit that thumbs up button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let me go ahead and hit record. We will get right into the video. So actually a pretty flat day for Apple, down 20 cents on the day, 0.16%, up 2 cents in the after hours. Pretty much flat on the day. That being said, we did see a little bit of a gap up to start the day, and at one point we broke above the 127.99 level, pushing as high as 128.32, and then we saw a little bit of a sell-off and testing this 126.65 level a few times, 1, 2, and then testing it a bunch there. Briefly broke below it, but recaptured it and kind of closed strong. So things that I liked about today: the strong close here at the end, pushed up, got near VWAP to close, got above the 126.65. Obviously what I don't like is we hung out below the VWAP and that it was still a slightly red day. But if we take a look at the market, right, NASDAQ down 0.03%, Dow Jones down 78 points, and the S&P down 0.22%. So still relatively flat day across the indices. That being said, there was a lot of action if you were trading today. Many opportunities, ups and downs. So looks flat at the end, but definitely there were a lot of opportunities. So hopefully some of you guys were able to take advantage of this. Let me bring in this article here that talks a little bit more about what we see here with Apple and the rest of big tech. This article claims that they might be ready to rally, and let's take a look why, and then I'll share, if I feel that way as well. So big tech has been downright disappointing this year, as we've talked about multiple times over and over again. It's been at the same place for the past like 5 or 6 months, right? I mean, going up, going down, going up, going down. We haven't seen a clear direction on big tech, and after the growth stocks earlier this year, we've also not seen a clean direction there. So what they're talking about is the FANG group, so that's Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Alphabet, aka Google, and Microsoft. They're not very expensive, so they're taking a look at the median forward earnings multiple, which is just under 30 times, which is higher than the S&Ps of 21.5. But if you take a look at how high it was in previous times when these multiples went higher with the price going higher, and considering how they're growing earnings and long-term prospects for these companies, valuations are reasonable, and they're seeing that growth is happening for these companies at a really great rate, something that we've not really seen before. Facebook earnings are expected to grow 17%. Amazon's earnings are expected to go 30% compared to just 12% for the S&P 500. So clearly big tech still outperforming the overall S&P 500. We're not expecting growth like we did during the coronavirus pandemic, but we are still expecting decent growth, and growth that beats a lot of other companies within the S&P 500, making the argument that we could see a little bit more of a push up for these articles, or for these stocks there. So that's what we're seeing there. My only kind of concern with that is it is already higher than the S&P 500, so how much higher it can actually get, that's sort of the concern. But I'm my portfolio, which is not a great thing to say because you should always diversify, but I'm still a little bit heavier on the big tech side because I think I definitely see upside there with FANG stocks as well as some other tech growth names. Let's take a look at the daily chart for Apple, and what we'll see is, one big thing that I want to point out is this line that we drew on recently, going back as far as September 2020, and we saw that bounce. We saw another bounce here in November. We saw a bounce in early March, in late March. Then we've seen 2 bounces happening on the May timeframe. So hopefully, that line should hold up as really good support. That's coming in right in the 123. So if we were to go down, I don't think we go below that. But before we get to this line here, we've got 2 other levels, the 126.65 and the 125.03. 126.65 is that level that we went below very briefly today. And then 125 is another level after that. On the upside, we got that 128 level. Now, one thing I will point out, similar to how we were taking a look at it a couple weeks ago with this 135 level, something similar seems to be going on here, right? So 514, high of 127.89, 127.72, 128, 127.94. Today we broke above 128, but if we go back and look at the daily chart, we stayed above there for like minutes, barely. So this 128 level seems like it's going to be a little bit challenging. We might need some momentum to bust through that and actually stay above it. So that would be a little bit of a hard resistance. Where I see it going, ideally, if we can break that tomorrow or the next day, ending the week between 120 and 130. If we are unable to, and we kind of see what we've seen here, then ending the week between this 126.60s and 127.99 level. One thing to take a look at, again, we bounced perfectly off that 8 EMA today. We are again closing below the 89 EMA. Don't like seeing that, but that is what's happening. RSI is looking decent at 47, not overbought nor oversold. And yeah, I think we're finally starting to see a little bit of consistency. We did make a higher high, higher low than yesterday. As you can see over the past 4 days, we've consistently made higher lows, which is definitely a great promising sign. Actually, the past 5 days, we've made higher lows, which is definitely the direction that we want the stock to be moving. S&P, like we talked about yesterday, that 420 level might be a bit tough, and then 422 might be a bit tough, and then it's all-time high, and then QQQs definitely has a bit more room to run all the way up to 338 and then 342 before we get to the all-time high. So that's all I had for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop that like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.